Hi guys, Mr. Giles here. Welcome to the 5th episode of my Let's Play Hearts of Iron United Kingdom series. I left you this morning and I was starting to get tired, and we just really finished the reorganisation of the Order of Battle. Very almost got it done now. We've got to sort out a few irregulars, sort of extraneous, outlying irregulars that we don't like. But no matter, we will continue. So we'll go ahead and get started. And yes, so I'm sorry about the length of the last episode, by the way. My timing got all wrong, and the reason my timing got all wrong is because of PPI helpline, and I'm going to blame them for everything, because why not? You know, I hate the buggers, so, you know, let's just blame them for everything. I mean, I think that's perfectly viable. So, right now, well, let's check on the status of the Spanish Civil War, shall we? Yes, we can see it's undecided, but since the new patch, I do have to say the Spanish Civil War looks so much nicer. It's almost understandable. You know, we've got a pocket here of the nationalism. You know, they've risen up here, and they've risen up in the south, and there's two distinct fronts really, rather than, well, except for this. Don't worry about that, or that. But you know, otherwise it's sort of it's quite simple to understand what's going on. Who's winning? So the Republicans are at 21% surrender progress, and the Nationalists are at 20%. So the Nationalists are winning very slightly, but I don't think surrender progress is always the best measure of that, to be honest. Often, you know, in the Spanish Civil War, you don't even have enough units to cover the whole front, so it's quite difficult to actually know who's going to win, and you know, it can change very rapidly and things like that. So I'm going to find my transport fleets, because I think I've lost them a bit, and yeah, I really need to know where they are, because if I don't know where they are, you know, it's not going to help me very much. So we got one here. This is only 2 transport flotillas. We're going to come and pick these guys up. I don't know what I'm going to do with a one brigade of militia. I don't ever know what I'm going to do with militia as the UK anyway, but you know, maybe I'll do something with them. Maybe I'll just sacrifice them to the blood god or something, you know. Skulls to the skull throne. So, yes. Oh, I did want to mention this, actually, that there are some tutorials which I think are very good. I've had a look at them myself. I would really recommend them. They're very thorough, they're very detailed, definitely very correct. And they are Saray's video tutorials. I'll post a link in the description of this video to them. And they're really good. They're very detailed. They really give you some good tips for how to play Hearts of Iron, how it should be played, and the kind of things that you should be paying attention to. And in particular, you know, stacking penalties, combat, things like that. They're quite difficult to get a grasp of in Hearts of Iron, but they really help you. Having a theoretical knowledge like that does really help you. Definitely recommend reading some AARs on the forums, you know, read some tutorials, read some stuff like that. You know, they really help you. I mean, I have to say, you know, although I have sort of played Hearts of Iron quite extensively, I would just say I've learnt much more from reading about Hearts of Iron on the forums and watching Hearts of Iron videos and reading AARs than I have actually from playing the game. I mean, I wouldn't say I was actually a great Germany player, neither a great Soviet Union player, but countries like the UK and Japan I find quite good, because I've sort of, the AARs and things I've read and things like that, and the knowledge I have sort of suits that. So we got, you know, we've just finished a round of upgrades, which is quite nice. So we've got some R3 at sea now, which going to go towards our new armoured divisions. However, we're not just going to build armoured divisions, we're going to build a new carrier, the Ark Royal class. Oh, well, maybe we'll see how long it'll take. November the 27th. Well, yeah, we'll put a new carrier in, I think. We'll put a new carrier in the Ark Royal, yes, because of course ships' anti-aircraft defences can upgrade anyway, so it's not a huge concern of mine that the tech for AA hasn't finished quite yet. But to get a new carrier out there is very important. The UK starting 3 carriers aren't really sufficient. Yeah, so we're sort of just motoring about, really waiting for things to get places at the moment. Oh crap, I just wasted some IC, that's painful. we're shipping out our corps to various parts. We're going to send 2 corps to Egypt at this point. Oh, we have another corps here already, which means we have a corps free from Malaya. And the reason I'm sending this here is, as I mentioned before, is to defend the Strait of Malacca, which I think is how you say it. Yes, and that is really the gateway to India. And I don't want to expose that. I don't want to expose India to the Japanese. I know everyone will say, but they can invade through Siam and they can invade through Yunnan, and that's true. But I'm not overly worried because look at the infrastructure here. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, I know I can't see a lot of it, but I know for a fact the corridor between China and India here is very poor. You wouldn't be able to supply very much through here. Progress would be very slow, and similarly in the south it's quite thin, so readily defendable along this river line. So later I can free up some units just to defend here. I don't really have anything other here. I have 1 metal province, but I'm not really overly concerned about losing that. It's only 1.6 metal anyway, you know, Japs can have it. So yes, that's my tactic, and then I'll send my flying army, or what is the term I use to describe it, is to go and defend. So I'm a little bit divided at the moment, whether I send another corps out and only leave 2 corps to defend the home, you know, the British Isles, or I send, yeah. I mean, this corps is going to stay here, and the reason this corps is going to stay here is because I'm going to want to use it for naval offensives. But Ethiopia is a pain in the arse. I forget about it every time. And it's always a much larger than a conflict than I anticipate it to be, because the Italian AI is too stupid to ship its units back to North Africa or back to Italy. So they either just run out of supply and die. Oh, I don't want this. Oh, I don't like using George V. He's a very good head of state. Ironically, if I don't press the OK button, then I'll keep like King George V on life support or something, and he doesn't die. But I will. Yeah, I will. I'm afraid I will have to get rid of him, because otherwise it's going to annoy me. So we get Edward VII, who is the opposite of definitely the opposite of George V. He gives him minus 5% IC allowance. And just combined with Stanley Baldwin, we're actually losing 10% of our IC here, and I'm gaining dissent, which I don't like. Keep your dissent down at all times. Suppress the population. Yeah, so production is going okay at the moment. Obviously, once my sort of escorts and convoys are done, I'm going to have a lot more IC to free up. And I believe once our destroyer anti-aircraft defences are up and some of our anti-ships have actually upgraded, then we'll have again more IC to free up, which will be good because we need more stuff at the moment. Need more stuff being an excellent term. I would really recommend using that term in an essay if I were you. Well, it seems the Republicans are fighting back. They've pushed them back in the south, but ooh, I don't know how that got there. Maybe there's a flying army. I'm going to combine these guys simply because I don't really know what to do with them otherwise. And then I'm going to take them down to Ethiopia, because it's the only real place I can foresee militia being of any help at all is in Ethiopia. But I don't like militia. Their organisation regain is just appalling. It's just so slow. You might as well not even have organisation as a militia division. So we've got our corps in Singapore now. This is too strong. This is ironically, this garrison is too strong. It's going to incur a stacking penalty. And also I need to make sure I do actually defend these other ports up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spread out our forces slightly in Malaya, for the sole reason of making sure we have sort of a slightly more united defence down here. Or a more comprehensive defence than united. United is not correct word to use in that instance. So sort of time is going on. I'm still undecided about whether to deploy this core or not. I put it on speed 5. It's a little bit laggy, but you know, I don't mind. I'm not going to be one of these people that just complains about lag, mainly because I know my computer is crap as it is. That's my fault. One thing I don't understand about Let's Players is people complaining about lag when they have the most ridiculously powerful computer in the world, which is, you're so lucky to have that computer, you have no idea. And then to complain about lag is just sort of slightly insensitive, to be honest. Not that I really care, it's just that, you know, you're complaining about lag when it really isn't a problem. Like, I don't consider this to be an issue at all. Sorry, you just saw me scouting out what Germany had there. I did notice at least three heavy cruisers and one battle cruiser. That doesn't sound like anything abnormal. I would have been concerned had I seen a battleship. In fact, that's what we'll do. We'll check on our spies. How are our spies going to go? We have 8 spies in Germany. We should attempt a coup. No, we're not going to do that. Wow, our spies estimated 22.9%. I doubt that's entirely correct, but that is ridiculously high as it is. Let's just check out what tech's finished. Assault concentration. I like this. Infantry warfare. Excellent. 2 very good techs here. Assault concentration I'm going to take out of the queue right now, and the reason I'm going to do that is because we need to focus on some of our other techs, and I haven't actually got any artillery yet, so it's not really helping us do a great deal, but I will be building artillery. I doubt I'll be able to build enough artillery to completely reinforce everything, unfortunately, as I would like to. That's something I often find is a bit of a dilemma for me, you know, to what extent do I invest in brigades, single artillery brigades, simply to reinforce my starting units? Or do I, you know, just build a whole new one? Operational level, yay, I like this one. This definitely needs to be researched again, as you can see our attack delay is still very high. It's still over 100 hours, so we're still going to be waiting around a few days before we can attack again. I don't know what to do about this one. I might just leave it as a garrison in London, just to make sure the Germans don't try any ridiculous power drop invasions. And I'm going to Gunno, being an excellent term. Very colloquial to the south there, I'm sorry, that was my accent coming through. Yes, I'm going to start deploying our 2 corps in sort of semi-defensive positions. These aren't going to be final, by the way. They are just sort of haphazardly chucked in there so we don't lose everything. One in Lowestoft. Obviously, the garrison that I have assigned to Britain is not going to be able to hold if the Germans do invade successfully. Its sole purpose is really to be able to hold the line until reinforcements arrive, because they will be able to siphon off other units from other theatres. None of them are as important as the UK, obviously. Losing the UK is akin to, well, you know, losing the UK is losing the game, really. I'm actually going to attach this directly to the army. It's, no, the Home Army. No, the Home Army, that one. That's slightly more efficient. I don't know, do I take this or not? It's a dilemma. Anyway, we're firing forward here, down in October 1936. Speed 5 being greatly increased. The speed of the Speed 5 is ironically being greatly increased for the motherland, and it's one of the it's one of the reasons I really like For the Motherland. Actually, it's because you don't need to sit there for quite so long in peacetime. Although I'm not a huge, I don't share a huge hatred of peacetime. It's just that it is boring. But I do also find quite a lot to do during peacetime, as you've probably noticed already. I've been doing stuff. I've been busy all this game. And if you see, I've just reduced the amount of investing in officers as I've hit the 140% cap. And I should be investing more in tech now. What do we think? Armour or... Well, infantry is more important. We'll put it in small arms for now. You can't go wrong with small arms. Oh, look at this. We just finished two fighter techs here. Wow, that's a level 7 difficulty for aero engine. Oh, I did not know that. Well, I better start researching that straight away then. Yeah, queuing up my some old techs there, just to make sure that they sort of eventually get improved. The reason I'm investing quite a lot in the Air Force is because it also does complement our Navy, because obviously those kind of improvements to light fighter tech, to light aircraft as the game describes it, is actually something which affects our carrier air groups too. Don't forget about air launch torpedo and light bomb development, by the way. These really do help your carrier air groups get on and things like that. They're not going to attack otherwise. Oh, I'm running out of time. So we're kind of moving ahead now. We've finally sort of started to make a progress in various things. Is there anything else I need to sort out? I'm going to look at intelligence again. Schwerpunkt. There's nothing that is overly concerning here. Oh, look, we got another event. Remember, you can pause these if you want to read them. The default ones, the sort of ones that Paradox put in, aren't that great. They're not very detailed, and there are hardly any events actually. But that means that George VI has now become head of state, and he's much better. He's yeah, George VI is much better than Edward VII. I think it's Edward VII. Organisation regain rate being very good, very good. We like that. What else? Oh yes, I was looking at intelligence. We'll just quickly look at this. Yeah, they're all sort of researching. This is reassuring, by the way. Weak tech, nuclear bomb making. Yeah, these are port strike tactics. They're sort of very normal. I mean, nothing that concerns me too much about these. I wish you could see what they were building. That would help me more. Oh, I'm going to set the mission to counter-espionage in France. Counter-espionage? Oh, bloody hell. Look at that. Well, I'm going to set my mission back to counter-espionage temporarily. That is insane. I've never seen that before. I've never seen so much espionage going on in my country. Wow, that is insane. God, Persia, Afghanistan, Honduras, Portugal, Xinjiang, I don't know how to say it. They're all having a go. Wow, I'm obviously not liked. Yeah, so we're going to try and kill some of them. Yes, as I was saying, counter-espionage in friendly countries, friendly countries being countries in your faction, actually increases their espionage. It actually helps them. It kills enemy spies, not their domestic spies, as it does in an enemy nation. Because democracies start with very poor... Well, they have very poor counter-espionage stats, because they don't have repression, they don't have police state or anything. So helping out your ally is quite important. Don't forget to do that. I'm just making sure I'm not wasting too much IC here. That's really what, after this point, the game is all about. I wish I had something to say. I feel like I haven't said anything for a while. Yeah, so I have nothing to say. Australia, New Zealand. I didn't realise Australia and New Zealand are quite as close as Hearts of Iron makes them out to be. But I don't know why it does this. If I move over the map boundary, then we actually lose the place names, which is quite funny because I've never seen that before. Look, there we go. They've gone. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know whether I should report that or not. We've almost got the first division of Royal Hussars out. I'm not going to invest too much in armour, as I said already. I should probably be thinking about my deployment more now. Certainly want subs here to fight Italy, to raid Italian convoys, as they are quite susceptible to raiding. They're sort of short, there aren't many paths that they can take from their mainland ports to their ones in North Africa, or indeed their ones in Ethiopia. I've decided I am going to deploy this corps, this sort of spare corps I have, to Ethiopia. That's what I'm going to do with it. That's what I want to do with it. And I am going to create a command structure down here, because I don't have one yet. So we'll go for the 4th Corps. We'll create an army, the 2nd Army, and we'll go for the 3rd Army Group, and we'll go for Singapore HQ. Just someone that doesn't have the bad trait, really. The old guard trait, that is. We'll put Norrie in there. We haven't got any tanks down here, so he's not actually going to give us any bonuses, but he's not going to give us any bad things either. And we'll put Alexander as our army group, as our army leader. For now. For now, I'd like to move him elsewhere, I think. 7 ships. I like to have my transport fleets in fleets of 5, and that leaves us with a spare number of 3. Of 3 transports, which I don't know what to do with them really. We want to appoint people with the disengaged timer. Obviously, we do not want our transport fleets trying to fight. We want them trying to run. I'm going to send 1 transport fleet to the Med, because obviously it's going to be critical for. That's going to be very critical for our so-called amphibious invasions. I'm going to send a small one down to Colombo. In Sri Lanka, and I'm going to leave 1 in the UK, which is actually just going to take these guys down to East Africa. It's going to take them down to... I need to think about where's the best port. That's quite a good port. That's a better port. So our offence will come from the south, and we'll strike at Mogadishu. Oh good, well we'll leave anti-aircraft armament rolling, I think. We definitely need that one. Japan starts with very good carrier techs, and I'm much more scared of Japan than I am of Germany at this point. And I know I shouldn't be. I know that Germany is a more powerful nation, but because Germany doesn't really, well, the German AI doesn't really invest anything in the navy, and also the AI is pretty crap at naval warfare. I'm not really overly concerned. Oh no, this is crap. Oh, this is a good tip, by the way. If you ever get this one, and you think, oh no, I'm going to have to lose a minister, you can go, oh, who is the guy I'm going to lose? This guy. Unfortunately, I can't replace him. But if you replace him, so if, for instance, if it was Montgomery Massingbird, I could replace him with someone I didn't like him, and then accept the event, which means that that means that I lose the guy I just appointed rather than the guy I actually wanted to keep. So, unfortunately, we did lose our only foreign minister, which seems a bit stupid, really. So now we actually have no foreign minister at all, which is frustrating, but we'll have to put up with it for now. Yes, I prefer the one where the parliamentary scandal where you lose a minister to the one where you get the massive penalties, the -20%. The -20%, what's it called? Leadership modifier, and the sorry, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, we're going to start building some artillery. We're going to start reinforcing some of our corps. So this will reinforce 5 of our divisions, just for strength's sake. And I am going to deploy them to this corps here. The one in Alexandria, the one defending Egypt. Very important, that one. They need to hold the line. And, oh yes, they've arrived. The home army, well, they're still attached. Yeah, none of these are going to work. Yeah, we'll attach them to the Dar es Salaam HQ for now. I don't intend on these people being down here for too long. I don't like them being in desert because of the attrition. And I've probably actually sent too many people to fight the Ethiopians. I need to send one here. But, you know, defeating Ethiopia and Italy is quite... Oh, so look, this is the one I hate. Minus 20% leadership modifier and plus 10% daily descent change. Very bad. Definitely very bad. I'm losing a lot of things here. Britain has good leadership, by the way. I would recommend it. I wonder how much leadership they put for Cambridge. 2. Why have they made Oxford better than Cambridge? Everyone knows it's the other way round. And why have they made London better than both of them? Anyway, that makes no sense to me at all. Oh good, we got our armour. I'm not sure I'm going to deploy this. I'm not going to leave it in Britain, that's for certain. We will appoint... hold on, I know who I'm going to get. I appointed him as this guy. This man. Oh, Norrie, that's him. Just as long as they don't get a Mouse, I'm not really overly concerned. Norrie, there we go. He's better. And that means we will be taking him down to Africa, where tanks are quite helpful, to be honest. So we're just sort of going along now. We're in 1937, so we've got like another 2 years or so, 2.5 years for war. Obviously time is going much faster now. My reorganisation is actually done. As you would expect, really. So we're just sort of sitting here. If anyone, if you think I should just skip uneventful years, or just skip until something eventful actually happens, then tell me, because actually I'd like to know. We're going to put some... We don't have multi-role. Multi-role are quite good at the UK. So we're going to invest in that, and because of that, because we can't build multi-role yet, we're just going to build 2 carrier air group. Remember to build spare carrier air groups, by the way, guys, because when your carrier air groups get torn up in combat, you can actually swap them out with land brace groups, because carrier air groups don't incur a rebase organisational penalty when they rebase to carriers. So it's not. It's actually quite an efficient method of doing it. And we're going to build 2 divisions of Marines, make that 3 divisions of Marine for now. I'm not adding the engineers to them. I know some people like to add engineers to their Marine divisions, but I'm not going to. I find it means that when they fight in places with poor supply, the engineer division slows them down too much. It really, you know, particularly in the Pacific, you know, when you're assaulting these sort of islands and you are being supplied from level 1 ports and level 2 ports, you know, you can't really afford to have an engineer, because the fuel demand for a engineer brigade is much greater than that of a single Marine division. So I think all our command chain is sort of in supply range at the moment. Looks quite nice anyway. Even if it's not entirely functional quite yet. So we're wasting some more IC again. Never want to waste IC, guys. Don't do it. I forbid you. We're going to put another division of light armour in. Because we don't have self-propelled artillery yet, we're just making light armour, 2 motorised. And also we're doing this now because we want the reserve bonus, which I think I've said before. It's much cheaper to build units in 1937 than it is to build them once war has started. I could start deploying some of our units. Oh, hold on, the phone is going.